Hi there. Welcome to my video about fear and how to overcome fear by noticing three important factors: your mind, your body, and the language that you use. Now, fear is something I resonate with as growing up, very much so. I would fear failure, always having to be perfect, always having to do really well in school. I feared speaking up in public, standing out, or even when I was asked questions in class, I would fear of speaking out on the chance of ridiculing myself. I believe that the fear has, when I was growing up, stopped me from moving forward, stopped me achieving the very best that I could possibly do, reaching out for those goals. But over time, I have learnt to make a massive transformation to overcome the fear and the anxiety of speaking up in public, and not being afraid to say what I'm thinking or what I'm feeling. So what I want you to understand is that fear is very natural. It's a natural thing. It is something that we all experience. It is hardwired into us for many good reasons. Okay, it keeps us safe, it keeps us protected, it keeps us alive. So all these things are good. It's like a comfort zone for us. However, these fears can also stop you in certain circumstances. It can inhibit you from moving forward. And what's important is you need to learn how to overcome these fears and take advantage of them rather than let the fear stopping you. So flipping it around. What I always try and say to myself is, feel the fear, do it anyway, don't let it hold you back. Feel the fear, do it anyway, and don't let it hold you back. I'd like to now share a few things with you to help you overcome fear so that you can now begin that transformation in moving forward and taking action. So the first thing is to understand that fear is an emotion. Okay, it is a state, an emotional feeling that we feel. It is no different to confidence, peace, happiness. Okay, they are all states. So in order to experience the different emotional states, there are certain patterns we all experience in our body, in our mind, and the language that we use that puts it into that state. Okay, so remember those three factors. It is our body, the physiology, the focus of the mind, and the language we use. Okay, we are in control of our emotional patterns, not the other way around. Okay, that's really important to remember that. A lot of people believe that they get the fear, the anger, the frustration because of something that's happened, like, your boss approaching you. It could be the economy around you, so what's happening, the recession. Now, these things are all external resources that trigger off those emotions. So when they are triggered, we start thinking things in our mind, and our mind focuses on other things. Our body starts to feel and change. The language we begin to use becomes quite negative, but for yourself. So what I want you to remember, that these are emotions. They are something that you have no complete control over. The external experiences of the outside world are not in your control. However, what you do have is the control of your inner world, the 100% control of your emotions. So what you are thinking, what you are feeling, what you are saying. Okay, so those are three really important factors to take into consideration. These three things will radically change your thinking, your feeling, if you start to notice them. Let me ask you, the first thing is, if you are in that fearful state, you have anxiety, or however you want to describe it, what is your body like when you're experiencing fear, anxiety, that uncomfortable feeling, that fright? Because we all have a certain pattern that is universal, but some people, it can be slightly different. So if I asked you to remember a time in your life when you felt that fear and that anxiety, you were frightened to do something, say something, in public speaking, reaching that goal, whatever it may be, and I asked you, how were you using your body at that moment? Right? What was your physiology like? This might be simple to you, but how we use our body affects greatly how we feel. So when you're slumped over, you feel more down, insecure, depressed. But when you're upright, you gain that confidence. You gain that security. So what is it that your body's doing? Now, the second thing I want you to think about is, what is it that you focus on? What's your mind doing? Okay? What do you have, or what do you think about that makes you fearful at that moment, or even just before it's going to happen? Because thoughts start running through your mind, and then you start experiencing all these thoughts, and then your physiology starts to change. Okay, so what is it? Because I can almost guarantee that if you have a state of fear, you are accessing that emotion because you are focusing on a certain thing that is making you feel that way. The more you focus on the negative things that are not working, the more you're going to feel that anxiety. So your focus, you need to focus your mind, your thought, in a different sort of core component. So what is going to determine what you feel, but also how you represent this in your mind. Okay? The images we make, the size, the colour, the texture, the shape, the distance, these are all called submodalities, okay, which amplify or intensify or what we're thinking and feeling, right? Or do the opposite, the emotions, okay? Because when you focus, you're actually just making a picture in your mind, right? It's only a picture. So I ask you, what do you focus on? What kind of thoughts or things do you experience? Are you going through? What is making you feel that fear? And finally, the third thing is the language. What sort of words, phrases do you use? What are the patterns happening? Notice those things as you are experiencing them. What do you say to yourself? Is it, you might be, it's not going to work out. He or she doesn't like me. I'm never going to be able to do it. Notice that when you begin to say that, and change those negative language into positive language. So when you understand what fear is, it is simply just a pattern. It's just a state. You have to be in control to overcome, because remember, you are 100% in control of your emotion, not the other way around. And you need to start to change and shift the fear of the emotion. So what I'd like you to do next time, when you begin to feel this anxiety, this fear, I want you to start noticing yourself experiencing that state of fear. Okay, really home into it. Okay, I want you to think of the three core elements, the factors of your body, the physiology, your mind, what's it focusing on, and your language, the language that you're using. Change those negative thoughts, emotions into positive ones immediately. By thinking the opposite is so for example, the opposite of fear, think of it as confidence, think of certainty, right? And if I asked you, how would you stand or use your body when you are feeling certainty, confident, proudness, comfortable, relaxed? Think about how your body would be to when you're not feeling those things. If I asked you if you were feeling totally confident and you were totally fearless, what would your mind be focusing on? What kind of thoughts would be going through your head, having that confidence, being fearless? Okay, and finally, that language that you use, what kind of words and phrases would you use, would you say to yourself if you were feeling, again, confident, you're not fearless and relaxed, right? Think again, those opposites. What would those words and phrases be? So what you need to be doing is, what are those empowering things that happen to you instead of the ones that limit you? The word to this key is empowering. So the 3 factors that I've spoken about is very much what Tony Robbins calls a triad. So finally, to overcome that fear, the key is to recognize, notice your emotional state, and that you are in control of it 100%, not the other way around. That you can enter into that state at any moment you want. Any moment in time you can decide, because you are in control. Now, what's worked for me is having me sort of a kind of ritual that every morning to put myself into that positive state where I become more conditioned and it becomes part of me. So I tend to have a ritual every morning that I do, and it kind of sets off my day to a good start. So what you need to do is you need to break that negative pattern and that confidence and that certainty, so it becomes your baseline state. And that way you can easily call upon or take yourself to that positive peak state. So by having that ritual, you're doing it, it becomes part of you every day. So remember, to get what you want, where you want, recognize, notice the 3 factors, and take immediate action. Now, hopefully this video has been helpful to you, and thank you for watching. Please like, comment on that, and I look forward to posting you a new video soon. Take care. Bye.